Hey everyone, today we are back in the weekly pack. This weekly pack is dominated by the leech, the camel, the triceratops, the hurt pets, also the presence of the behemoth. It can get pretty rough out there, but as long as you accept that, you can make it work, work around it, work with it, or just totally ignore it and try to smash your face against the wall enough times until you get something else to work. So my previous video was showing some of the other stuff I was trying to do, mainly with a stoat. You can utilize the stoat to try to get ahead in the higher tiers. I was hoping to sell into like a vampire bat when I'd have an ailment team, or maybe like a saber tooth with a hurt team. Actually got a level 3 saber tooth one time and was able to feint it with the leech, get the 3 mammoths on the board, but then I lost on the final turn, so that was kind of devastating. But yeah, today this video kind of just going all in on the hurt pets, gonna have some fun variations with it, and also want to highlight the maple syrup perk. It's a new perk. You're gonna see me freeze the Bilby here. I wanted to point out that a good amount of these runs were done before the update. I do a lot of my weekly runs pretty quick in like a big session or two, so a lot of these runs did come from that first session still. I played a lot in that one night, so yeah, you see me just buying the stoats because I don't really know what direction this wants to go. And yeah, let's talk a little bit about maple syrup. So before we get into the perk in game, let's just talk about maple syrup. So growing up, I think most of us, or at least most of us in the US, I don't know if it's similar for other countries, but you have your Aunt Jemima maple syrup, your typical just sugar, water, whatever it is, maple extract syrup. And then I think it was about when I was in high school or so, I have a couple older brothers, they were learning about healthier eating habits, this and that, and yeah, kind of got in it's when the whole organic kind of thing took off, so started buying more organic foods and eating a little healthier, and then we discovered real maple syrup from a maple tree, not like the whatever that other sugary stuff is. So yeah, we started buying it and it's very expensive. And then my very, very old school father would be like, why do we have to spend so much on maple syrup? Why can't we just I can make maple syrup myself? And we're like, really? How do you make real maple syrup yourself? Like, you go extract it from the trees? Like, no, just give me some maple extract. I'll make some for you. We're like, nah, Dad, that's not how it goes. Sorry. So I always get a good laugh of whenever I eat pancakes in the morning or something with some syrup. So let's get into the run here. On turn 6, we got the upgrade into the blowfish, which is perfect considering we have a level 3 firefly. There's sometimes where I would keep a firefly on my team, basically not knowing what direction I'd want to go. You see I have the leech on board too, so maybe go a combination of the hurt pets. But at a certain point, I didn't want to go leech on my team, so a lot of times I would take it, but I'd take it with the notion of I really don't want to keep this on my team. And you'll see why in the bonus clips. I had plenty of leech games. It's way too overpowered, especially the leech moose combo. You really just can't beat it, so in comes the moose. So I decided to just go ahead and sell the stoat. And yeah, it's happened plenty of times with the stoat. You hit a good line like this, we know the firefly and the blowfish are staying online. And holy mother of blowfish, look at this. For a turn 7 board, we have a level 3 firefly that's going to activate all 3 of our blowfish. And we have a moose. Oh yeah, and one of the blowfish is a level 2 with a 714 stat line. What a freaking joke. Look at these battles. So while we're working our way up to the maple syrup, there it is in the shop. I guess we could talk about the perk in-game now. So the perk in-game, on the first attack that your pet does with the maple syrup, it will take half damage and it will deal half damage. It's very interesting. I had to read it a lot and I had to pay attention to a lot of battles because we'll see exactly what the text says, but I believe how I'm saying it is kind of how it should read if it doesn't read that way, because I was a little confused at first, but nonetheless, it's pretty simple. It's the pet needs to be doing an attack, so I believe it would work on jump attacks, but I believe other things like snipe damage and whatnot, it does not block. And yeah, we'll pay attention here and try to verify that. So, what are we doing here turn 9? Well, you really want to just level up the moose, but you also don't want to just hard roll the turn down, so luckily the whole shop fills up with tier 1s, and we go ahead and take the half level on the moose. Now, our back blowfish only got hit once, so we could remain flexible on this team here. This team's very strong. It'd be it would feel kind of bad just to leave this team in the whole game. And yeah, what am I saying? I feel bad. I just made things worse. I put in a Triceratops. So I'm kind of surprised I didn't throw any maple syrup at this point, but I probably don't recognize it. I was totally ignoring the perk for a long time. What other perks are here in the pack? I think melon is the best protective perk, and maybe the only other like high tier protective perk. Obviously melon doesn't work too great on hurt pets. It'll work great on a front elephant, as you see on the opposing team. If they had a melon there, they would have destroyed us by even more, and there you see the power of the leech. We have such a strong team on board right now, and it was absolutely no match for the leech. It's disgusting, honestly. It's just disgusting. But it's fine. It's fine. I had plenty of fun with the leech as well. And what are we doing here? I think we're just rolling down the sad rolls for one more tier 1. Don't get it. The maple syrup has not come online yet. And we're facing opposing hurt teams. They have jump pets, they have clownfish, they have a lot of things going on. It should be an easy win. So what else do we got in the bonus clips coming up? Just some fun dominant wins, a couple of like different variations on either the leech teams or the hurt teams without leech. I tried to do that at a certain point. It's like, all right, I'm going to run the hurt teams, but I'm going to try to do it without leech. I also, stay tuned for the final bonus clips. If you're not a big fan of the bonus clips, just skip towards the end. I'll try to put timestamps on them. I went for a 5-of-a-kind leech, and I was so close. It was like such an epic final couple battles when I was at 9 trophies trying to go for it. And then I also had the dominant, the dreaded 2-pet combo, the regenerative elephant. So it's elephant Triceratops, nothing else. So it's one of the few times you can run a back Triceratops, and it essentially just replenishes the stats of the elephant. Yeah, probably would have had that as a main run if I didn't want to highlight the maple syrup. And here we go. I could have just made this a bonus clip, I guess, and started at this point when the maple syrup comes online. But I think it's so cool. It's a new perk. It seems like a very good perk if you use it in ways like I'm about to use it right here. So check this out when the firefly goes off. Oh, never mind. We got weakened. All right. Well, all that build up for nothing. That's how it usually goes, right? And yeah, these low attack, high health teams are no match for us. No match when we have abilities. And all of our pets are getting very healthy here. Might be about time to consider lollipops, but it looks like I'm skipping them, and I'm just gonna keep full sending it. There's the Triceratops level. That's huge, honestly. This feels like a Bengai cardinal fish, right? Oh, the big behemoth. It's devastating. Can we actually? No, the leech is too big. So close, though. Down to 2 hearts. The teams are getting scary. So yeah, think about that. This was the first night of the weekly still, and we're running into some scary teams. I can only imagine what the weekly pack looks like now, especially if you go to like turn 18 plus. It's probably just going to be like 50-50 leech, triceratops, blowfish, moose team, or like 80-80 behemoth teams. Oh, we throw soft ice. Look at that. All right, 50 on one blowfish, almost 50 on the triceratops and other blowfish. It's looking great. Our firefly is going to help them as well. I think we get more value from it. Their blowfish is 50-50 though. It's very scary. Look at that maple syrup. Look at that maple syrup. It just gives us another trigger. And honestly, probably the reason we won that. that blowfish could have traded with our whole backline if we didn't have that syrup. Skipping chocolate. No way. And I'm not even going to use the soft ice. I think it's probably lollipop time, although we don't necessarily need to this turn. Probably considering the Firefly only has 35. Ooh, another maple syrup. You know what? I'd like to think I was hard rolling for maple syrup there, just because I was so happy with it. So I think at this point is probably the first time I realized that the Firefly doesn't affect it. It takes me a while to realize certain things. And yeah, see all these snipe damages not affecting our maple syrup at all. We're getting more Triceratops stats. Oh, see, I'm looking at the maple syrup. It's like, maybe this is the battle I finally realize it. Maybe right there, that hit from the elephant, because that probably should have killed us. And look at this. Oh, we got crisped. Our syrup, man. Come on. I'm just trying to eat some pancakes. All things tier 1. So at this point, it's most definitely lollipop in 2 rolls. We need a lollipop here. It would be amazing. Please. Oh, the sap gods heard us. They have listened. They have responded accordingly. Put your hands up. The victory pose. Oh gosh, that's a big blowfish. Hold on, we might have another battle here. It's always tough when you get in the late game with these Fireflies, because you're most likely going to be helping their team as well. But the good thing is we're going to be replenishing stats with the Triceratops and getting stronger. They're not necessarily getting stronger because they're not getting more health. Health is all that really matters in these battles when you get to this point. And are these blowfish ever going to stop? Oh, they might be done now. There we go. And here we go again. Oh, I was hoping the chain started again. And let's see, 37 health, 29 health. I mean, it's a pretty good perk when you get these traits to line up like this. It just basically guarantees you're going to get an extra trigger. So we pretty much guaranteed we were getting 3 triggers on every hurt pet we had on that team. So here we go, we're hopping into it right away. It's more combinations of the hurt meta. I tried to get a cuckoo chick going so bad, and honestly, this was one of my best efforts. It was running the African wild dog with a cuckoo chick with elephant triceratops, so the cuckoo chicks would be fed into the triceratops. It was pretty good. The main thing I wanted to do was an axe handle hound. And yeah, I'm just going to show you a couple battles here where I got some good triggers. I ran this team probably 7 or 8 times, and every single time it would just hit a hard wall. Now, I wasn't doing myself many favors. I'd try to run like an evil book or this team like with a front phoenix, and you see the phoenix chick just trades with the cuckoo chicks, and you just kind of mess yourself up. So if you're looking for axe handle cuckoo, pay attention to what you're doing, because you can easily get yourself in a situation where you're like, oh, I'm not going to get any triggers here. Like, no matter what happens, I just set my team up for failure. So yeah, I was trying all different kinds of combinations, trying the ailments with the hurt pets, and nothing seemed to just quite hit like Moose Gaming. Moose Gaming was just so strong. You simply just bring in a moose and pivot in a couple other tier 5s like a Geotortoise, Triceratops. It definitely gets old though. So something else I found, thanks to running into enemy teams, and I'd see this 50-50 yellow goat in the back line, and I'd be like, what's going on here? So you run elephant, camel, and then I keep forgetting what the takin, right? The yellow goat here, Takin. So it will gain stats upon friend ahead hurt. So it makes sense to put elephant something and then this. So you're going to see here, I realize it's so strong, I get to the point where I'm like, all right, I'm going to try to run double. And yeah, it completely smashes through teams. So you see I lollipop the back one already. I'm probably looking for another lollipop. There it is. I should probably rip it. Because the goal is to basically get this elephant to 50-50, and then hopefully my yellow goats become 50-50 through the elephant getting a couple trades. hurting the camel. Yeah, it felt good. I thought this was for sure a win. But sometimes you run into a brick wall, and that brick wall is an opposing elephant with the better hurt pet behind it, and pets that can go above 50-50 behind it. So, oh man, it's pretty devastating. You feel so confident in these runs, and then they absolutely hit a brick wall. And yeah, the leech is so strong that sometimes you don't even need a Triceratops. You don't even need another pet. This run, I had Leech Camel going, and at a certain point, I just brought in another Leech, and I was like, I'm just gonna run double Leech. I don't even care if I don't find another Camel, because now I have a Moose to give more health. I can simply just Moose scale the Leeches, and then lollipop them. So, it definitely felt a little mean doing this, knowing that other people were gonna run into these teams. But I was vibing out. I was just trying to do something different, right? Instead of just running Leech Camel all game, switching Camel out for Triceratops, bringing in something like a Geotortoise in the back line to receive those Triceratops buffs in battle. It's just too easy to win that way, and it's very easy to win this way too, but, you know, two 50-50 Leeches with Melon on turn 16. At least it looks different, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to do here. So, all right. Now we get into some longer bonus clips. We're going to have this bonus clip and then the final one with music. The final clip with music, I just want to preview really quick now. It is the Elephant Triceratops 2 Squad Marty attempt. It is the regenerative elephant. So basically, there's nothing behind the Triceratops. So every time the elephant attacks, it'll hit the Triceratops a couple times. All those Triceratops buffs will go back to healing the elephant up. And then your hope is that you can just mow through the whole team and that your elephant doesn't die. And I thought it was so much fun. So much fun selling down, trying to get that done. So check that out. Like I said, it would have been a main run in pretty much any other video if I didn't want to show off the maple syrup. And I'm very proud of kind of figuring out the maple syrup seems good in these kind of situations where the snipes don't get rid of it. So you can pretty much guarantee you get the maple syrup for your pet's attack no matter what, which is nice in some cases. Some cases you might want the snipe protection. But let's see what's going on with this clip right here. What do we got going on here? We have 3 leeches on board. We just threw a chili on our weakest leech, meaning we're either going to combine it or leave it as is. And we have another leech frozen in the shop. So I would think, looking at this, that we're going to level a leech to level 2 and then bring something into feint. Most likely we're going to bring in a beluga sturgeon to feint for the rice dolphin, or we're going to buy sell stoats until we hit a saber tooth and try to get a mammoth. Something like that is what I would think looking at this right here. But I'm guessing this was towards the end of my session, and I probably knew I had enough footage to make a couple videos. I had a very, very good session. I was like, you know what? We can just rock this. We can just go with it. Let's go for the 5-of-a-kind leech. We're on 9 trophies on turn 14, so it's still pretty early. We have 2 very sizable units. The only thing I don't really recognize here, I put the melon leech in the front. And that's because I want to save the melon. I should have put the melon leech in the back to save the melon. So, unfortunately, this melon's going to get broken. We'll see if that would have been the difference. Oh my gosh. That was a lot of hurts. So let's see. That would have been melon. Yeah, the melon didn't protect too much. I think it would have been a draw no matter what. We get a leech level up. I don't know why. I guess I have a leech frozen in case I find something I want to buy sell. I kind of forget what's all in the pack to buy sell last second. And what do? Do you go chili first? Do you go big unit first? I really don't know. Oh, and I think I'm freezing the leech to potentially restack on this chili leech because I think it's going to go down to 1 health. But I don't realize that every leech is losing and gaining a health, so it's a net 0 trade, except for the front and back ones, of course. But as far as the 3 middle ones, they're both losing and gaining every turn, so didn't really need to hold it to stack, or to freeze 2, I guess. And, oh, what a draw. What a draw. Oh, it's nerve-wracking. This is a 5 of a kind I really wanted. I feel like this is a hard one, considering you can't just put melons on everything. But again, a perfect example for maple syrup. You see I have the melon in the back now, put maple syrup on the front. I would assume I'm throwing maple... Oh no, they're only 2-3 leeches. No reason to put maple syrup on them, I guess. Yeah, this is pretty awkward. Might as well just throw 2 more chilies and pray. Yeah, really don't know what to do here. So once you go for 5 of a kind and commit to it, and then you start losing, it's just tough. You know your team's just falling behind the curve, and you have to get extremely lucky with the matchmaking. Looks like decent trades, but just not even close at the end. They got double snipes, they got big behemoth, they got level 2 fly. Most likely 1 more turn. Best thing we could do, just throw foods on our strong pets. Another melon, but yeah, nothing we can really do. The seaweed, not bad. Probably about equivalent to the chili though. What do we get? Oh, 2 HP. I mean, we get a good trade, and it's another draw. Oh my gosh, this is brutal. So brutal. And at this point, I know there's pretty much all hope is lost. I mean, we're on turn 18 with basically 2 statted up units on the team. Yeah, our team has not changed much in the last 4 turns. And knowing other teams have Leech Triceratops, have Moose, have Behemoths, you're just not going to be able to keep up. A 91-100 Behemoth, so... Oh, we're going to go ahead and ride off into the sunset, but before we do, I'm going to hang out here for another battle, just to kind of show you the pivot. So here, I was going for the elephant, camel, talking again, we have the moose, looking for the level up on the moose, and just hoping that I can get a strong showing of this team. That's where I was at this point. I had no plans to do anything else. I was like, this is it. Once you see me kind of commit to something like this, especially since I don't have all 5 pets, I only have 4 pets, you know, this is the team I'm going for. This is it. So if I change things up further, then it's a pretty big surprise for me. And look how strong the elephant is. I mean, oh my gosh, it's absolutely ridiculous. So there's the Triceratops, and this got me thinking a little bit. And if you hung around this long, I really do appreciate it. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. As always, have a fantastic day. We'll catch you in the next one.